K6USY.
KJ6TYO.
Good evening, guys.
Yeah, Mike, we'll see how your internet's doing tonight. It's been really slow, so we'll see if it holds up the stream tonight. I'm almost wondering if your router needs to be reset or something, because it's jumping all over the place.
Well, I just turned on here, so you wouldn't know until just a second ago.
No, but I'm talking about your internet connection for the stream.
KJ6TYO.
Yeah, we got you, Ron. I heard you, KJ6TYO1009. Good evening.
Good evening.
You're K1009? Ron?
Ron?
Yeah. Good evening, Ron. And how are you doing? Staying warm?
We're nice and warm. Garage doors are closed and the heater is on.
Good for you.
Until the wife comes home with groceries, and then all that warm air will go outside, and it'll be cold again.
Yeah, I don't know what it's supposed to be. Last night they said it was 34, but it warmed up pretty quickly, so it's hard to tell. Anyway, it's that time of year. You got to expect it should be pushing around freezing.
Yes, sirree. All righty, well, I'll let you get the show on the road. KJ6TYO.
I thought the show was on the road. As soon as you checked in, we're rolling here. You got the wheels.
My wheels are just spinning.
Are they?
You got yours in four-wheel drive. You're on all four.
Okay, four-wheel drive, and I'm running through Cow Slick.
There you go. All right, have a good one.
Thank you, Ron.
KM6SRR, number 432, over.
Good evening, Ron. Rob. Big Rob Egan, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing better than I deserve, I guess. And how you doing, Judy? KM6SR here.
Better than I deserve, too.
Well, good for you.
There you go. Okay. We're out here. We're just turned the heater on. It's a little nippy in here, but not bad. We'll get by. Heater's doing its thing here. And we had a nice weekend. Got a little bit done. Got quite a bit done on the solar stuff. Frank's honing in on the watershed, or pump room, if you will, and all the stuff that's in there. We moved a little bit of solar panels around to get more coverage here and there and get her better battery charging. We were a little weak on the home system and a little bit strong on the pump system, so we modified it a little bit. We'll see how it works over the next few days here. Anyway, everything else has been fine. It's been pretty non-eventful other than the stuff that's going on politically, fireworks with all the appointments, potential appointments, and so on. So we're smiling. I hope I get Kerry in here. I had a question for Kerry. I guess the question's been answered now, but it came up early this morning. Hopefully he'll pop in here this evening. KM6SRR, K6USY, KJ6TYO, K6MYC, Bozo Net, beaming south toward Lake Isabella and Bakersfield, N6SWR and or KB6RQU. Anybody?
KK6ZKE704.
Yeah, good evening, Kerry. Good to hear you. Big, strong signal this evening, 704. And How was your weekend? Relaxing and starting to get back to normal?
Yeah, just kicking back and not much going on, enjoying the reactions to all the Trump stuff.
Yeah, isn't that something? I just saw a thing on the news a while back, a few hours ago. It was something about a company that sells abortion pills, and they were selling 6,000 pills a month or something, 6,000 calls a month, and all of a sudden now they're getting 30,000 calls this last month for all the ladies that are going to worry about having abortions now that Trump's in office. You go figure their brains, huh? It may be a blessing.
Roger that. That's hard to comprehend.
Isn't it? Because it has nothing to do with it. You know, if you don't have sex, you sure as hell don't need an abortion pill, do you?
Yeah, that's what my mom used to say.
Anyway, a lot of funny thinking. Of course, that goes along with what's been going on in the last 4 years. Some of the stuff that's you couldn't imagine it happening, and they've been able to make it get it under the rolls of the onto the microphones and spoken. Some of the words and the thoughts are just beyond belief. Anyway, real good to hear you. Nice strong signal, as I said. Good audio. Good evening, Terry. KK6ZKE down there in Fresnoburg, K6MYC. And who else do we have in here this evening? Hopefully we get a good smattering of people out of the San Joaquin Valley here. I haven't heard anybody from LA yet. I don't know whether the propagation is there or whether they're just not turned our way yet. I think I'm pointed toward LA. The pointer thing says 152 or so, 153, something like that. So hopefully we're okay. So we could get AA6S, we could get WA6AHA, we could get WB6COT, K6MTA, WA6OIB, KE6VON. Who knows? We got to get and then we could get all the folks up there at Course Gold. Frank should be here after a bit. W6BBS could be in, and we expect to hear K6BBG, and maybe Daryl KG6CYCE Charlie Echo Foxtrot. So a lot of check-ins waiting to happen here, and I'm waiting to take the numbers. Don't all cram in at once, for heaven's sakes.
Well, you can put Bozo 1100 down. K6USY 1079.
Oh, there you go. I'm not sure she didn't already do that, but thank you for reminding us that you have a co-pilot tonight. It was nice to get Eddie in here the other evening, even though he came in at the end of the evening. We may get him in earlier. I'd like to see Eddie check in at the beginning of the net when we're pointed down that way. How about Lake Isabella, KB6RQU? How about you, Rick? He's asleep in his easy chair. KC5DTU, how about that guy? We have 2 or 3 in Visalia. We've got at least 2. I had 2 people check in the last month or so from Visalia, 2 new guys, and they haven't checked in since, so that's kind of strange, but we'd like to have them because Bill doesn't usually get in here on Sunday nights. He's got family and other stuff going, I guess. A6MYC Bozo Net beaming down the valley, down the San Joaquin Valley toward Bakersfield and Lake Isabella, and maybe even into the big metropolis of Los Angeles area. And not a peep. I wonder if they canceled the net tonight. For the wake.
I haven't heard anything, Mike. KM6SR.
I haven't heard anything either, Rob. Well, I guess we could go over toward a Atascadero since we can't raise anybody else. Maybe we can get a Atascadero to say hello to us there. Let me go that way for a second here. Let's see here. W6QUI. 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 K6MYC. I wonder if I have an antenna up there. It must be. It's hearing you guys. W6QUI. K6MYC. Atascadero. KE6KN6EIV. Eric, by any chance, are you going to bless us with your presence?
WB6JNC.
Oh, there he is. I forgot to mention you, Dane. I know you're boycotting me because I forgot. I forgot you and Dan there in Course Gold. I was straining my brain to remember who's up there. And there you are, 107. Go ahead.
Okay, K6MYC, WB6JNP. Haven't really forgotten about you guys, just been tied up the last few days. Have a request from a fellow ham up in Sacramento. If anybody knows of a used 200-gallon propane tank, he would be interested. So I'm looking for a 200-gallon propane tank.
Okay, is he using it to travel with, or is it going to be on the home location?
I'm guessing on the home QTH.
Well, they're really inexpensive to lease. I mean, if he can't find one, he could contact the people that supply the propane. I think I'm leasing a 150 or 120-gallon one that I have here. Costs, I think, $60 or $70 a year, but that would at least get him out of trouble till he finds his own. Over.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll pass that along, and I'm sure Steve's looked into that over the time. But usually when he says he's looking for something to buy, he's got a very specific reason, and I don't try to figure it out.
Well, tell him about it anyway.
Located, I may have one.
Oh, you may have one? Well, he's just somewhere near Sacramento.
Well, so am I.
Yeah, I know you are. Up there in San Andreas. Judy may have one up there that's for sale. Is that the one that's hooked to your trailer, Judy? Up there?
It's just on the property.
Oh, it's just not being used, though? Or is it being used?
No.
Okay, not being used. Okay. So there may be one up there. But what I've found in the past and locally here, I have a company called Mountain Flame Propane that services me. And the first year, when I rent them, the first year is free. Over.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm sure Steve's looked into all that. I look at purchasing with the problem that on any sort of tank like that, it has a life expectancy or when you have to have them recertified. So I don't know exactly what he's up to, but I will pass along that we may have one available someplace in that area. I think he's up at Echo Lake.
Okay, well, if we get his email address, we can get him in touch with Judy's daughter, who's on the property up there, and she can work out the details. Over.
Sure, so I'll scout Steve up and all that. He's old cable TV person that I've worked with for like centuries. So know him quite well from the old days of 13-gig microwave. Anyway, I'm in the process of cooking dinner, and I think I've got water boiling that needs to be tended to. So I shall return. K6MYC, WB6JNP 107.
Okay, 107. You know, it's a good thing that you weren't looking at the pot, because a watched pot never boils.
I know, it'll be flowing over the stove when I get there.
Okay, WB6JNP, good evening. And throw a rock at Dan's window and have him check in. He was booming in here the other day on 432. Good evening. Anybody else before I am in Atascadero, but I can still turn back and get San Joaquin Valley. I'm sure that somebody down there in San Joaquin is hearing me. Rob, if you're still pointed at Rick, you might give Rick another call, and or Ben as well.
Okay, I'll go there right now.
Well, I can go back. I wasn't sure where you had pointed.
I'm there now. KB6RQU. Rick, you on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net? KB6RQU. This is KM6SRR with K6MYC. Standing by.
Pretty quiet out there in Radio Land.
Yeah, we're hearing crickets even in it's the wintertime. Let's see. How about Ben, N6SWR? Are you by any chance on listening tonight? Over?
Passed away from the LA guys. You might call LA and see if you're hearing anything from down there. I don't hear a word.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, I don't hear him on the air, and I didn't hear anything about him postponing the net tonight. Anybody down in L.A., Pat, W6PMD, or how about John, KG6USS? Anybody on for the Bozo Net tonight from the L.A. area? Over, over. More crickets.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just go on up to Santa Cruz, and maybe by now Tom's back is healed well enough to get him into the shack. I hope it isn't a permanent damage that he's done to his back there. When he's missing 2 weeks in a row, that's very odd. So if nothing else, maybe his wife can wheel him into the shack. So let's go to Santa Cruz and see if we got Santa Cruz and Watsonville in here tonight.
Can you hear me?
Who is in?
W6BBS.
Okay, 7-2. Good evening, Frank. And well, we're just pointing over towards Santa Cruz. We're a little light on check-ins tonight. We got about 8, but we're way short of the number we should be getting out of the San Joaquin Valley.
High Viswar problem. I've got something wrong. This is a check-in. I'm not transmitting anymore. W6BBS 72.
Okay, you said you have something wrong there?
Yeah, he said he has a high Viswar problem, Mike, so he doesn't want to transmit anymore. KM6SRR.
Roger. Well, we got you checked in. Thank you, Frank. Okay, Santa Cruz, KW6S. Kilo Whiskey 6 Sugar, KW6S, or Alpha Foxtrot 6 United. What's that? Alpha Foxtrot 6 United, AF6U, or KW6S. Either one of you guys around tonight. K6MYC, calling and listening. The cricket noise is loud as the dickens here. They go into the Bay Area. That's more or less the high end of the Bay Area there, 289 or so.
290.
290, a little too high. Anyway, Bay Area, kilowatt 6 Mike, Yankee Charlie, Bozo Net, 2 meters, over.
KB6, 900.
900, there you go. Hi, Oliver. KB6BA. Not booming, but I think I went a little bit past you there. Go ahead and take a transmission. So far, you're the only one in the area, over.
Yeah, started a quick hike today, and supposed to get some rain the next 2 days, but it's probably not a whole lot. And looking forward to going to New Mexico for Thanksgiving next week. K6MYC, KB6BA.
Yeah, you may not be pointed at me. You almost faded out on me in the middle, and I didn't get what you said. But I don't know whether you said you had a hike or you didn't get your hike in today. Maybe not to be pointed just right at you. I did wiggle the antenna back and forth, but you did not come up. So I don't know what's going on. Usually you're blowing me out of the shack here, over.
Yeah, I understand. My power was turned down a little bit, so I boosted it, the power setting, and maybe that'll help a little bit. Yeah, I just got a short hike in today. Try to get some more in later this week prior to going to New Mexico for Thanksgiving, over.
Oh, okay. So perhaps next week, starting midweek or thereabouts, you may be going, or is it going to be going sooner than that?
Tuesday next week, coming back Sunday or Monday.
Okay, so pretty much the whole week except for next Sunday night. We'll see you here on Sunday night, maybe Monday night on 6, although you don't check in very often on 6. But anyway, good. Well, hopefully you have good time in Thanksgiving. Maybe you can bang them around head and shoulders a little bit and see if you can get that state to turn purple.
Yeah, well, I think it's best to keep my head below the stay below the radar and stick to my radio hobbies. So that's what I enjoy doing. KB6PM.
I didn't get that. I'm sorry.
Static.
Huh? Yeah. Well, I've got my static. I just thought this would go away as the temperatures went down, but now the solar panel or this solar inverter from my neighbor is really acting up now that it's being used heavily. It may be something related to this battery level or something, because it's really been acting up the last couple of days. In the middle of the day, it's wiping me out on 6 meters again, even when I'm pointed away from it. And it's grinding away on you tonight, and the signals are not real strong. You helped a little bit when you turned the power up. You came up a little bit, and then you went back down again. So it might be more bad conditions than power, Oliver. Anyway, fun in New Mexico, and we'll see you when before you go. We'll have a couple of more chats, I'm sure. QRZ, the Bay Area, Bozo Net, K6MYC, listening.
WA6AXX 773, no traffic.
Okay, and you're pretty weak too. Are you turned way down?
No, perfectly normal, all normal settings.
Okay, hang on. Well, I'm right at you, 283. Let me swish around and see if I can find anything. I'm going to start a little bit low. Now I'm pointed at Santa Cruz. Give me a transmission, Ed, and I'll swing up through you and see if I've got maybe the path has shifted tonight.
Okay, let's see. So you're supposed to have a little bit of rain today, but I don't think it really happened. And otherwise, just a little chilly. And then next week, late in the week, I think we're going to have a long atmospheric river coming in from the Pacific. So I think we're going to get a lot of rain next week. But other than that, let's see, is that long enough?
Yeah, we didn't get any rain yet here so far. We're still sitting at something around a 1/16 of an inch, which is essentially nothing. So we're excited to hear that maybe the atmospheric river will give a stream or a tributary over in our direction here and give us some water. Just dry. Everything's so dry it's breaking off. The grass is the wild grass that was up, and all the oats and stuff are so brittle now that you walk near them and they fall over and break. It's just dry. Anyway, yeah, I picked you up a little bit. That's better. And so there you are. Okay, on your little bit of rain. Well, we had a potential for it. It said it might rain, but it never did. And every morning we wake up and it's bright sun coming into the shack. Now tonight we have clouds, so possibly tonight we'll get a sprinkler or two. We'll see. And I can see the moon, but the moon is peeping through and around some stringy, long-winded, long-stretched out, thin clouds to the east. So who knows? We have our fingers crossed. and our buckets waiting for rainfall. WA6AXX773 K6MYC.
Okay, very good. Nothing else here. Just listen for a little bit. K6MYC, WA6AXX.
Alrighty. Who else do we have in the Bay Area? K6KLY. We got WB6JNN, W6PQL, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, KG6 KF6QCH, K6 VVP, I should say. Who's in the Bay Area tonight? K6MYC 2-meter Bozo Net.
Well, my voice is still not there. Hey, bye. As promised, WB6WNI 1090.
Yeah, good evening, Gary. 1090. Yeah, you're weak too. I think we just don't have a path over the hill for some reason. WB6WNI, you're much stronger than you were on 432 the other day, but still, it's not your booming signal normally. You're pounding in here, so I think it's just propagation. Even Ed on the top of the hill is okay, but he's not just crushing me by any means, so who knows. Anyway, good to hear you, and I guess you've been under the weather a little bit. You feeling better? What'd you have?
Well, just a very bad cold. That's all. A very bad cold. You get them every once in a while, and you realize that sometimes these colds are not that friendly. So that was it. I still have a little bit with my voice not quite the same, but we're doing much better. It is completely cloudy here. Completely cloudy and not too cold. A little bit hot. You are coming in just as good as ever. So I guess I'm not sure what to say here, but yeah, you never can tell. K6MYC to AB679.
Okay, very good. I got most of that. I made a mistake and thought you were fading out of me, and I went the wrong direction with the rotator. Apparently the path has shifted a little bit tonight to the north. I'll have to watch that. It's funny because it's been doing that the last few days, and I'm just about ready to recalibrate, and then all of a sudden the guys in Nevada come in exactly where they should be. And that's a real clean, pure shot for me across 100 miles of air before it even gets to the Sierras. So I don't know how why the pattern is, or the path has shifted on you guys, but anyway, I'm clear up at 290 and you came up, so sounds a lot better this way. Sorry about the cold. I guess everybody's getting them. I guess it's going around. I take a lot of supplements, which has been apparently boosting my immune system. And I've been a little careful about getting outside and getting cold and sweaty, and then not staying warm enough when I'm working outside. It's been temperatures have been in that condition where you can work yourself into a sweat, and it really isn't that warm out. The air temperatures today I don't think made it to 60, but the sun was warm, so I worked whenever I could. I was in the sun, and it was very pleasant because it was almost no wind. Anyway, good to hear you, Gary. Coming back to normal, it sounds like a little bit there. Good to hear you. WB6WNI for your final K6MYC.
K6MYC, WB679. Very good, Mike. Yes, we also did some gardening today, did some pruning, and yeah, it was not that bad, so enjoyed it. And I know what you mean about being overly heated, and then you have to watch, make sure the cold doesn't set back in. Anyway, we'll let you go. We'll say 73, and probably see you again on Wednesday. K6MYC, WB6WNI 1090.
Okay, we won't see you on 6 meters, then we'll look for you Wednesday. Is that it?
The QSL.
Okay, very good. Very good. WB6WNI in Campbell, San Jose area, K6MYC Bozo Net, beaming the Bay Area, looking for check-ins. Over.
Whiskey Radio X-ray 807.
Okay, got two of you. Good evening to you, Stan. 807, stand by a second. Who was the other one?
Whiskey 2, Whiskey Romeo X-ray
Oh, hi, Carl. No, you better give Judy your number. I know what it is. I was going to say it, but I want you to give it to Judy. You're nice and loud, Carl. Go ahead.
Okay, the number is 294.
Well, thank you very much. And how are you doing there? I worked the contest, and the last contact I had in the contest, my number 4. I only worked 4 guys in the contest over the weekend, but it was a Whiskey Hotel 6 X-ray, I think is the call, and he was 35 over 9, just crushing. And I called him and I worked him, and I said, by the way, you got a crushing signal in here. You're huge. And he says, you're likewise. Wow, mahalo.
Was that on 2 meters?
No. I wish it was. No, this was on 20, over.
Oh, great. I'm glad you got somebody out there on 20.
No, it wasn't on 20, come to think. It was on 40. I didn't even go over to 20. So he was 35 over 9 on 40 meters, over.
Wow, that's a really good signal there.
Anyway, good to hear you, Carl, and aloha, and stay warm. And over to you, Stan. AB6 Sugar Radio, AB6SR 807 K6MYC. How are you?
Okay, Mike. I'm okay here. Woke up. Good evening to Judy. Yesterday was our coldest morning, I think, in a long time. 36.7 or something here. And today we got a little bit warmer than you at 62, but still a bit cold in the mornings, that's for sure. Light frost. We're still out walking with shorts this morning, so shorts and gloves. Well, welcome to California. Yeah, not much from here. You're a great signal, of course. Yeah, I did a bit outside. I cut the tomato plants down today. What is it? You say potato and I say tomato or something like that. Yeah, and spent the rest of the afternoon working on the front door. It got sunburned over the last couple of years. It seems to be getting hotter, so had to restain the bottom half of the front door and clean it up. That was tough. Not finished yet, but yeah, still doing a bit outside, but yeah, it was a bit cold. So, nothing much else. I'll try to be on 6 tomorrow night. I've been listening these last couple of Mondays, but didn't call in because you were a pretty weak signal here, so I'll certainly try on 6 tomorrow. Other than that, back to you, K6MYC. Good evening to you both, AB6SR 807.
Yeah, thank you, Stan. And okay, I'm doing some pruning and tuning there in the backyard with your tomatoes or your tomatoes. tomatoes. There's a song about that. I can't remember how it goes anymore. But anyway, I did a little pruning today. I have some crepe myrtle trees that had gone to seed here. And they were looking a little ratty, and I was working around the pool, and I noticed all these seed pods and berries and stuff, and I cut off some ends and pruned them up a little bit. I didn't do a very good job, and I didn't do it thoroughly on the whole tree, but I did clean the part that was bushing into the around the pool area. And I pulled a few weeds in that area, and generally we cleaned the pool. Between Judy and I, we kind of did a half-assed job of cleaning. She did more work than I did cleaning the pool. We have a lot of leaves in the pool left over from last week's big storm. We had 1 hour's worth of wind, and we got 4 months' worth of leaves in there now. The trees are about half empty. I can't get too excited about it until all the trees are bare. Because all around the house here we have live oaks, and they lose their leaves once it gets cold like it's doing now. It'll be they're dropping like crazy. But it didn't come down until this last windstorm. We had 32 the day before yesterday, 34 today. I don't know what it was, but it was, and it didn't quite make 60, so you did beat us a little bit in daytime temperatures. But if you stayed in the sun, it was very pleasant. I was working around the pool, and luckily we have sun there. So I was crawling around on my hands and knees, and that's quite comfortable. So there you are. Just have to just doing things that are easy to do and can be done in the sun when it's like this. Okay, let's see. Who else do we have in the Bay Area? K6MYC Bozo Net. How about W6PQL? How about WB6JNN? How about K6KLY? How about KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie?
Kilo Golf 6, Charlie Echo Fox.
AG6 Charlie Echo Fox. Good evening, Daryl. You want to give Judy your number?
My number is 982.
Thank you, Daryl. Good to hear you. We missed you, I think, one night, last week? I thought you would be in and you weren't. But good to hear you. Are you well, or are you getting over a cold or something?
Oh, no, everything's okay over here. We're freezing to death, but that's all right. I got lots of stuff going over here right now. But we're all right.
Okay. What a bunch of wimps we are. We complained about temperatures in the 30s. Oh, it got into the low 30s or the mid-30s. My God, that's nothing. That's shirt sleeve weather in Minnesota. We're just a bunch of wimps out here, aren't we?
I'll admit it.
You will admit it. Yeah, I'll admit it, too. Give me the warm weather, baby. You could put me at 90 degrees the rest of my life, and I wouldn't complain.
Leave it. And I said, man, this is great weather.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Good to hear you, Daryl. And one of these days when the weather gets better, when it rains hard and it gets all crappy, you could go out there and put that big antenna up.
Oh, don't worry. That's coming.
Okay. All righty.
The problem's going on with my HF antenna. I don't know what's going on with it, but I got to take it apart. Anyway, I got work to do.
Well, get after it, man. You're not going to have any better time to do it than now. Short days and long nights and cold weather, and you know what else can you complain about?
Not a darn thing.
That's about it, isn't it? Nobody listens if you do, anyway. Alrighty, let's see if the Bay Area's woke up now that we've been over in their area for 5 or 10 minutes. Big list of people that have not checked in, please. K6MYC Bozo Net taking check-ins.
711, K6MI.
We're getting everybody but the Bay Area. Good evening, John. 711. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. I'm just in and out tonight.
Okay, running those in and outs on 711. All right. Good to hear you. Thanks for popping in, John. Always a good signal. A little noisy. I got power line noise in the direction toward the Bay Area. I want to finish off these Bay Area boys so I can turn the antenna away from that power source, that solar inverter that's giving me all kinds of fits here. But they just won't check in. They keep delaying and delaying here. KF6QCH, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, WB6JNN, W6PQL, K6KLY, KT2G even. How's it going in the Bay Area? Guys, wake up. It's 2-meter Bozo Net time, over. Boy, I can't embarrass them for anything, can I, Ed? All right, guys, that's a heck with you. Then we'll come back and do it later. Let me go over to Oakley and see if he survived the sweepstakes weekend here.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I hear you. Go ahead, Ken.
K6MYC and 6RO, Bozo 835, high temperature 64. And the dinner that's still on the stove is filet mignon with spinach. Anyway, things did not go as planned here. We had planned a multi-single with Chris N6WM and his partner N6NU using my station, both on-site and remote. And when Chris got here Saturday morning, the noise, power line noise was so bad, it made 10 meters unusable and 15 marginal. So he he abandoned the plan here and fired up his hilltop station, K6LRG, and continued on. In fact, they came in second, despite all the handicaps. We're reporting they came in second in the multi-single category. I got on for 80 meters for about an hour and a half and made 100 Qs and just worked a bunch of guys that I was tuning around for old friends and new friends and club members. And I had a couple of good runs in between. Anyway, that's enough of that. N6RO.
Yeah, very good, Ken. Well, I'm glad you got on and had some fun anyway. Sorry about the noise on 10. That's odd. Guess you'll have to get PG&E on the line. That sounds like you don't want to go through the rest of the winter with that noise. It also inhibits you if you're doing anything on 6. So it's going to really kill you on 6, and you can't tolerate that if you're going to work anything rare on 6. Anyway, I got on for, I made 4 contacts. Hey, buddy. I was a smoker. It took me 15 minutes just to figure out what the exchanges were supposed to be. I finally had to work at W1XX or whatever his call was and ask him, what the hell's all these numbers? And he explained it to me. I didn't know you had to have your own, the year that you got your license. I said, I don't know, so many years ago, I don't remember, but I'll make a guess, and so I did. Anyway, worked 4 people. I was actually on the band looking to see if there's anybody from outside the country, and I finally found a bunch of guys talking, and really quite weak, but all readable enough to talk to them in South Africa. ZS5 was kind of calling a net, sort of, quite inept at it, but he was doing it. And I could hear about 4 or 5 of the other guys, the ZS6s and ZS5s and ZS2 and 4, that he was getting in there. And finally, he had a little break, and I called him. I didn't know it was a net. I thought it was just a round table. And there was a great big pause of about 10 seconds. I ran, I was running 1,500 at him with a 3-element Yagi, and he was about S9. So I thought he'd come right back, and he comes back and ignores me. He didn't come back with the call. He didn't get the call, actually. He was copying so poorly. Must have local noise or something. I don't know what his problem was. But everybody else broke in and said, hi, Mikey. How you doing? You're 5 and 9 plus 10. About 4 other guys popped in and said, Mikey's on frequency calling. Pick up Mikey. He says, who? And they didn't know who I was. He didn't know who I was. It was kind of funny. And I went on for about a half an hour with him, and I didn't talk much. I just gave quick signal reports to the guys. And then I realized I looked at the frequency, and I was on 125.010. Pretty close, huh?
Yes, indeed. Well, that's a good adventure. Back to sweepstakes. It's the longest exchange in any contest, and it's based on the message handling protocol that we use to run the traffic nets, mostly on CW, but it was adopted by sweepstakes about 80 years ago. Anyway, what else was I going to say? Oh, I couldn't connect my new radio, 7610, with the computer, so I had to do it the old-fashioned way. Just no DVR or anything. I had to talk the whole thing, but I only was on for an hour and a half, so I got through it. Anyway, I'll let you run on toward the Sacramento guys, and I'm going to go rescue the steak on the stove, N6RO.
Okay. Yeah, Judy says enjoy your dinner. Sorry to keep you waiting there. And I thought you'd get a kick out of the only place on the band I could find no QRM, and I thought, boy, this is neat. I don't have any QRM on these guys. I can't believe it. They're not being crushed by anybody. And I got to thinking, I wonder what frequency I'm on here, because I can't read my dial unless I get my face on the screen. So luckily, I was still sort of quasi in the band. I was in by 10 hertz anyway. and I was short, so I don't think it will cause much of a stir. Last year I called W3LR because they operated there for about 2 hours or longer, and I called them finally. I said, do you guys know you're right on the edge of the bend here? You're only about 10 hertz inside or something? And they said, well, yeah, it's okay. We know where we are. It's nice and clear down here, and we can do this. Well, if they could do it, then I thought I could do it after the fact, of course. Yeah, go get your dinner. But he's worried about you. My God. Old man, you can handle it. Good night, Ken. We'll see you tomorrow on 2. Did you get 222 working?
No, Gary didn't have time to do that, but we did restore the 160, a 4-square, and a new stock match on 15, and some other stuff in the shack that needed repair or rebooting or whatever. Oh, about the noise, we did some DFing on Saturday afternoon, and with the Icon 705 and a LPDA, the little elk job. And we got 5 pole numbers of suspected areas. We couldn't pin it down to exactly the pole because we were basically underneath the power lines, and you got to be quite a ways away to use the Yagis to find them. But I've also got an audio detector that I'm going to take out there next, and we can then give them exact pole numbers or even a piece of hardware. So we're working on it, but it's going to take a while for them to fix it in 6RO.
Yeah, they are slow these days. Okay, thanks, Ken. Go get your dinner. Good luck with the power line noise. Okay on the system to find it and check it and nail it down. Any more you can do, the better. The less they have to do, and the less excuses you'll have. 7-3. We'll see you tomorrow on 6. N6 Radio Oscar of Radio Oakley, K6MYC.
Nighty night.
Nighty night. And how about Clear Lake? Anybody in Clear Lake in there?
WB6ISO.
Well, there's WB6ISO. What's your number, Dennis?
Yeah, WB6 here. You're signaling down a little bit. I'll wait for you to get your antenna up this way. I got some check-ins there for you.
Okay, give it to us 3 at a time, Dennis. 86.
Okie dokie, I could do that. And a very pleasant good evening. And we got 160 336 782 break.
Yeah, got it.
849 132 233 break.
Got that. 233. Go ahead.
1101. 1101. That's a new one for you, Judy. Good evening if you're there. Call is K6 Lima Bravo Papa. K6LBP. Over.
Got it. Thank you.
And I think that's about all I have. And a very pleasant good evening to you. This is Bozo 86.
Thank you, Dennis. Nice job. What's that?
4, 5, 6, 7 check-ins.
Yeah, nice run on your check-ins there, Dennis. You got more on than I got out of the Bay Area tonight. The Bay Area was quiet, so was the San Joaquin Valley, so you helped us out a lot with those check-ins. I did, when I was talking to Ken there in Oakley, I did listen for the guys in Clear Lake, but I didn't hear them, and then you checked in, so I assumed that when you checked in, you had them already, and they weren't looking for me. When you don't call in, they usually turn down and work me when I'm working Ken there. Anyway, thanks for that, and hopefully your temperatures and everything. We missed you, I think, on 432 the other night. We thought we'd hear you, but 432 was absolutely terrible that night. Conditions were just awful. So you didn't miss much, but at least we would have had you check in, I'm sure. But you must have something else going. Over.
Yeah, I do apologize for that. I had company that come over. We were in the middle of a project of trying to get a computer straightened out. It took a little longer, and by the time I looked up, I said, "Oh man, I missed the net." Oh well, I guess we'll have to make it up the next time around. But anyway, it's nice to be missed. Over.
Well, there you go. You can check in twice next Thursday, over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll make up for the situation, that's for sure. And hello, Judy. How are you?
I'm just fine and dandy. I'm glad you are also.
We're making progress. Yeah, we went in. I've got the back up with the doctor tomorrow. Matter of fact, when I had the hands operated on, and we're making some progress. And that slowly but surely. Boy, I tell you what, when you get older, it just takes longer to recover. Over.
Yes, it does. Like my mother used to say, you've got to be tough to get old. Carpal tunnel, isn't that what you had?
No, I had what they call lock fingers. Your fingers would lock up. Have you ever had that?
Oh yeah. Well, Judy's got two locked up, and I've already had one of mine fixed. So yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, when they lock up and everything else, you can't give that grand salute to anybody. Judy would know what I'm talking about. Heaven forbid. Okie dokie. Let me get out of the way. Conditions are down a little bit tonight. I'll let you know I was talking to Richard KD6BQ earlier, and conditions down a little bit, but overall not too bad over into the Nevada area. So anyway, I will get out of the way and let you get on with the check-in before it gets too much later, and hopefully you're staying warm down there, over.
Well, we're trying. I got the fire going big time in the house, and we got a little heater on our feet here. It is a little nippy just sitting here without doing anything. If you're walking around or in the sun, it's not too bad. But we didn't break 60 today down here. I think it never got to 60. It's supposed to be 56 or 58. And luckily, it wasn't windy. So the temperature of 58, if you were in the sun, didn't feel like 58. It was quite comfortable, and I worked in the shady, not in the shady, but in the sunny areas, and it was quite comfortable working outside until the sun started to go down. And boy, I could tell as soon as I got a shadow on my pants, whoo, it was coolish. 7-3, Dennis, and we'll see you probably Wednesday. WB6ISO, K6MYC, looking for KO6KD and others in the Sacramento area, over.
Report that sometime within this next week we're supposed to have some pretty heavy rains. I don't know if it's going to get all the way down in your area, but he's talking about something like we might end up with like 8 inches of rain. I don't know what you're going to end up with down there.
We're supposed to get it between Saturday and Tuesday. So we got our fingers crossed that we'll get, if we got an inch, I'll be happy. 8 inches, we'd be overjoyed. And it won't flood us here. I have a pond, and it all runs downhill into the pond once we start getting some runoff. Yes, last year we didn't get one drop in the pond, over.
Yeah, I know. It's either all or nothing. I don't know how you figured that one out, but oh well, we'll just hope for the very, very best, and hopefully we get a bunch of snow up there in the mountains where we really, really need it. Okay, 73 to you. You take care, and it's always a pleasure. WB6ISO.
Okay, 7-3, Dennis. And over to you, Bill, if you're there. KO6KD or KJ6KFB, whoever's there. K6MY.
KE6ILX mobile.
KE6ILX. Let me move the antenna up your way a little bit. And good evening to you, Jeff. Good to hear you. Give us your number. Give Julie your number, okay?
96. And just driving up the driveway, single loop on top of the truck. So no beans tonight.
Yeah, we got your 96, okay. We'll hope to be hearing you. One of these days we'll hear you on 222. I don't think you've been on there for a while. And then, of course, Tuesday we'll look for you on 1296 if you make it home in time there. Conditions have been pretty weak on all bands. 432 was weak last week. Before that, the week before, 1296 was really poor, but hopefully things will start to perk up a little bit. I don't know why signals are so weak on all bands. It's not, it can't be anything wrong in anybody's QTH. It's just everybody's down. And it's on all bands here, too, so who knows. Anyway, good to hear you. Hopefully you're keeping well. And are you still mining in these temperatures, over?
Nope, everything's shut down. Now I go into the Christmas fair season, the glass blowing and all that, and peddling gold.
And you're making, are you making ornaments again?
Yeah, ornaments, and I do a lot of stuff with gold, too. So, anyway, don't want to hold it too long, but good to hear you in there. When you first started talking here a minute ago, or 8 or 9 minutes ago, you were super loud, strong, and it dropped off a little bit. So, conditions are up and down. Anyway, KE6 ILX.
Yeah, well, I overshot you a little bit, so that was what happened. I was talking to Dennis. Yeah, that's Jeff, 96, KE6 ILX. Jeff is in Grass Valley. So, I overshot you, and I came back, and then you're better now, Jeff. Good copy. But still not as good as you have been. Some days you're just boiling in here. Knows what that's the kind of signal we expect to hear from you. Hi. Okay, on the ornaments and all that, good luck with that. And hopefully you'll make it through the Christmas season in good shape there. Take care. Thanks for checking in. KE6 ILX, KR6MR. John, are you there?
Roger. K6MYC in the group. KR6MR, Bozo 759. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. Good signal from you. Got you right in the same line with Jeff there. Right where Jeff peaks, you seem to be peaking. I haven't heard anything from Bill or Darren, and I haven't gone toward the Reading guys yet. We'll do that as soon as we finish with you here. But good evening to you, and hopefully you're surviving up there on the hill. I bet you, did you get snow up on there in Meadow Vista?
We do, but not this past year. 2 winters ago, we had 5 consecutive storms every week, each one dropping a couple inches. It was kind of pleasant, but kind of a mess. But we'll see what happens. It was only 48 degrees. No, it's 48 currently, 55 for a high. Go ahead.
Wow, you mean you only got down to 48 last night?
Oh, no, it got down to 34 last night. It's currently 48.
Oh, okay, yeah. We were 34 last night, so it got pretty cool here, too. Okay. Well, we get snow here occasionally, but 2 years ago was the same year that you got the snow and the rain and all that. We got tons of it here. We had twice the normal rainfall here, 25 inches, and that's when we got a full pond and overflowing in both ponds at that point in time. We've repaired the bottom pond or improved it, and now it stores a lot more water, so I'm just waiting for, now we need water. We get the ponds all ready, and then no water came. We didn't get one drop in the ponds last year, other than what came in from rainfall, but nothing over the waterfall. We have a little rock waterfall about 3 or 4 feet high, and you can see the water dribbling over that. Off of my half-a-mile runoff, I got a half-a-mile of rising ground to the southwest of me, and that's where the watershed is that goes into my pond. And out of all that last year, we didn't get one drop. It just soaked right into the ground, and that was it. So you've heard me complain about that before. Good evening, John, and we'll see you tomorrow night, of course, on 6 meters. KR6MR for your final, and if you've heard the others, you might mention it. I haven't heard on here. Paul's been quiet tonight. Normally he's in here by now. K6MYC.
Yeah, I haven't heard anybody. I did talk to Bill this afternoon. I was working on the radios in my truck. I was low power, and he came back to me. So at least the radio in my truck works.
Yeah, good deal. All right, well, we'll take a standby for him. And anybody else, Paul, if you're there, K6 Whiskey India Sugar, Alpha Golf 6, AG6. Oh, for heaven's sake, George, I forgot your call. Anyway, if George is there, come on in, George. Otherwise, KO6KD or KG6 Whiskey. Lima. No, that's my wife. KJ6. What's the matter with me? I can't remember Darren's call there. Go ahead, Bill. KO6KD.
I don't know how you do as well as you do, Mike, actually, because I have to, most of the time, I got to look up at the little sign I got here just to remember my call sign. Anyway, good evening, John. Good evening, Mike, and everybody else on that. I'm a little late getting in here, but I'm glad I got in here in time to sign in and say good evening. Number 776, KO6KD checking in.
Good evening, Bill. It was good to work you this morning. We'll look for you again tomorrow morning. And then we might just take Tuesday off because Bob isn't going to be there, and we don't have a lot of things happening unless there's something really, really pertinent. We may just skip Tuesday, and I'll just sleep in a little bit. I wanted to sleep in this morning, but the radio was calling me. At about 7:45, I woke up and said, I guess I better get up. I wouldn't have woke up at 7:45 if it didn't mean I should get on the radio. KJ6KFB, how about you, Darren? I remembered your call now. KJ6 Kilo Foxtrot Bravo. Darren, are you there? Okay, no Darren tonight. With that in mind, we'll go right to it. What have I got for a readout here, Judy? Okay, let me go just a tad more this way and call for Reading. KD6 sopping wet, KD6SW or KO6HS, KO6HS or KD6 Sugar Whiskey, K6MYC. Rich, are you there?
Why, of course, KD6SW, number 145 here in Reading. By the way, you were a little bit stronger before you turned the antenna to my direction, Mike. Over.
Okay, I got the 145, but I missed what you said about the antenna. Maybe I'm not peaked on you. Maybe it was better where I had it. Tell me again what you want me to do with the antenna.
Yeah, it was better where you had it. When you turned the antenna to me, the signal went down a wee bit. Over.
Okay, well, you didn't give me time to sweep back and forth across you. I went a little bit further south back where I was, but it didn't seem to do much. It might be more band conditions than anything, Rich. But good to hear you. You're Q4. Most of the time you're Q5. Better than the last couple of weeks. Let's see if Jerry is in there. Jerry, how about it? KO6HS, Kilo Oscar 6 Hotel Sierra, K6MYC. How about it, Jerry? Roger, 230. Judy didn't get it, but I did. Got your 230. You're down a little bit from Rich tonight, but maybe I don't have the antenna quite right. Anyway, I'm going to ask you to take another transmission, tell us what the weather's been like and your temperatures, and that'll give me a chance to peek on your signals there, Jerry. KO6HS Reading in the group, K6MYC Bozo Net, 2 meters. KO6HS, K6MYC. Well, I thought you're a little bit better, and you started to come up to Q3 and Q4, but I didn't get much but the end of it there. But we got, you're down from Rich, believe it or not. Tonight, Rich is up and you're down. The other night you were up and Rich was down, so you never know. Anyway, good to hear you, Jerry. Maybe one of these days we'll have a rag show with good conditions, and it'll peak when we're trying to reach you there. If you guys hear me peaking early, you should make noise, and then I can catch the peaks. It's harder to work you guys than the other guys. I don't have to wait for peaks. I don't have to wait for peaks on the other guys in the Sacramento area, but I sure have to do it here with you guys in Reading. So you should just make noise like heck, and I'll hear you underneath there, and you won't bother anybody, I'm sure, if you just throw your call out. And all that's it. That's not enough to bother anybody, and then I know that there's a peak. KD6SW, K6MYC. Go ahead, Rich. Yeah, just terrible. You're way down. I can tell you're in there. But no readability. I'll say 73s to you, and back to you, Jerry. Maybe it's coming up for you. KO6HS, K6MYC. How about it now, Jerry?
Bozo 884, W6GGY.
Roger, Phil. Hang on.
Signals are staying low, so no increase in the signal. We'll catch you next time. 7373 KO6HS. Over.
Yeah, good. Over as clear as a bell now. You came right up out of the noise there, KO6HS, but I didn't get the very first few words, but everything else was okay, Jerry. So it's just up and down, but we don't have the good conditions that we really need to have a usable QSO here with any other information other than just bozo numbers. How's your weather been? Have you had any rain? And I guess you guys are going to get some of that river coming in, huh? Okay, no rain, no rain. Not much, just a trickle. Okay, yeah, you're dropping back down again, so we'll let you go. And let's hope we all get some rain from this river, this atmospheric river that's coming in next week. 73 guys, KD6SW and KO6HS, 73s, K6MYC. Anybody else before I go toward Nevada? Over, over.
KM6HK, course gold.
Oh, knocked me off my chair here. I got the volume wide open to hear the guys up there in Reading. Good evening, Dan. 803. Signal. Did your buddy throw a rock at your window?
Copy, Roger. Yeah, he threw a rock at me.
Okay. Good to hear you. Booming signal. Way stronger than Dane was for some reason. But anyway, good copy. And thanks for checking in. KM6HK, course gold. I think we got everybody in course gold now. I think everybody checked in. I don't think we missed anybody but Dr. Dan, and I don't expect him in here. Over. Okay, good evening, Dan. Now, let's see. Anybody else before we go to Nevada? Kilowatt 6 Mike, Yankee, Charlie. Oh, let me get you, Phil. Let me see if I can peek on you. We missed you this morning, of course, but we figured you would be in here this evening. WB6GGY, K6MYC.
Yeah, WB6GGY, Bozo 884, and we also have Greg in here. Greg is just blew my back windows out, so go ahead there, Greg.
And good evening, WA6HNA, Bozo 1013.
Roger, Roger. Got your 1013. Phil came roaring in and quickly went into a fade. You picked it up in the fade, but we got you 100%. But it's down at the moment. Are you still vertical, Phil? I mean, Greg?
QSL, still vertical. I've got to get these solar panels on the roof, so then I'll put the antennas back up. Back to you.
Yeah, okay. Well, you're doing fine. The vertical's holding you in there, so I would not be embarrassed at all with that signal. That's a very nice signal with the vertical, and it may be working very well for you because you're so high. You guys both have elevation up there. Anyway, back to you, Phil, and let's see, what did you miss this morning? Well, we got into the Loy Brunson case with the Supreme Court a little bit, and Bob's doing some research on that for us. Maybe he'll have his take on it tomorrow. But I think there's been a lot of little tidbits of information coming out with respect to what could happen if Trump has to come in and take over sooner than the inauguration. I think that's why he's picked up a panel so quickly. He's calling his panel and getting his cabinet, I should say, and all those guys ready. So if he has to take over quicker than wait until January 20, he's ready to go at a moment's notice if some crash happens. Anyway, WB6GGY, K6MYC. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, WB6GGY, present temperature is 43 degrees, and is supposed to go down to 33 degrees here tonight. So so far, the last couple of days, no rain. We did have some early last week. So, over to you there, Greg. HNA to take it, and WB6GGY. All the very best there to you there, Mike and Judy. Back over to you there, Greg.
Okay, thanks, Phil. WB6GGY, WA6HNA, and I won't hold the long. I am vertical, and we're working it pretty hard here. So I'll let you guys go. Thanks for checking me in, and thanks for the net, Mike. K6MYC, WA6HNA.
Okay, very good, Greg. Solid copy, but you're down now from Phil by about 10-15 dB. So all of a sudden there is a difference between horizontal and vertical. At this location, I cannot go vertical. I probably should put up another antenna vertical, but we don't have that many people on 2 meters that are trying to work us vertical. And when we do, even like yourself, we can still make it happen usually. Thank you, Greg. Good to hear you guys from up that way. WB6GGY, and we'll see you in the morning, Phil. Good evening to you and Barbara. Good evening to you, Greg. K6MYC, clear. Anybody else before we go toward Nevada? AJ6 Queen Lima, George, are you here? KW6T, Russ, are you here? K6 Whiskey India Sugar, where's Paul tonight? Okay, I guess we'll try Nevada and see what happens here. Now let's go for KD6BQ first. KD6 Baker Queen, KD6BQ, K6MYC.
Yeah, K6MYC, KD6BQ, number 249 in Nevada. Over, Mike.
Very good, Richard. Good to hear you. KD6 Bisquick. I just dawned on me you have perfect call sign for Bisquick, and I got my mouth watering for some Bisquicks. Okay. How you doing up there? Have you got some snow?
Well, nothing on the ground here, so we had a little snow the other day, but it's all gone. Just dusting. Mountains have a little more, but pretty warm tonight. It's 47 degrees outside, so there's not going to be any snow happening anytime soon. It looks like maybe next weekend. Over.
Okay. Looks like all the cold weather is over here. We were 34 this morning and never got past about 58 in the daytime. It was nice in the sun because we had a clear day, but boy, the air was cold. Luckily, we did not have any wind to speak of, so I worked outside in the sun, and it was enjoyable in the sun. But it was not enjoyable in the shade, so I didn't spend a lot of time in the shady part of the property here today. Anyway, good to hear you. And Dennis, KWB6ISO, said that you were quite weak tonight, not your normal strength, and he said just conditions, I guess, but you sound fine here. You're not bodacious, but you're very steady. So let's see who else is in here. Richard, let me turn it back to you, and you can tell me who else you might have heard so far. KD6BQ, Bisquick, K6MYC.
Yeah, K6MYC, KD6BQ. You're down a little bit right now, but yeah, it wasn't, propagation over the hill towards Dennis wasn't so good. He was easy to copy, but I didn't copy anybody else over there this time. Usually I can hear most of them, so it wasn't quite as good. I tried calling Larry on 223 FM, but didn't get any response. So I don't know if Daniel's out there, but I presume he probably is. And I have not heard Stan on at least on 2:30 tonight, so maybe Stan's here as well. So anyway, we'll pass it back to you, Mike, and let you give Daniel a call. K6MYC, KD6BQ, number 249.
Okay, and I moved the antenna toward Daniel, and you came up of all things, so I guess the path has shifted a little bit, or else the antenna's off here. I'm not sure which. Anyway, booming signal now. So thanks for that, and enjoy the warm weather while you have it. It probably won't last. How about you, Daniel? KE7UQL, K6MYC. KE7 Uniform Quebec London, K6MYC. Oh, for heaven's sakes, no Daniel. Well, let's try for Stan. Stan, I wonder if you're in there. Let me bring the antenna way over toward you. K7 Sugar Uniform November, K7 SUN, over. Okay, nothing heard from Stan either. N7 Whiskey Tango, N7WT. How about you, Larry? Let me do this. Let me put it more in your direction, Larry. N7WT, N7 Whiskey Tango, K6MYC.
Yep, don't hear anybody around here except me, Mike.
Yeah, boy, you're all alone tonight, Richard. One more call. KE7UQL, Daniel. Well, we're early for Larry. At least he can't use the excuse that he had to go to bed because it's only 8:45 or so. So I don't know where Daniel is tonight. Maybe he's got snowfall, or maybe he just forgot this evening. Daniel's usually quite reliable, as you are, Richard. And I don't hear Stan in there. Stan would come in. I'm sure he's hearing us if he's in there. We'll try one more time for Daniel, and then we'll shoot it back to you for your final, Richard, and we'll look for you tomorrow night on 6, of course. N7, KE7 UQL, KE7 Uniform Quebec London, K6MYC. Daniel? Daniel's got some problem where he's sleeping, one or the other. And Larry's just taking a hiatus. Larry's probably frustrated because half of his systems are not working like they should, Richard. Back to you, and you wrap it up. KD6BQ, best quick, K6MYC.
Yeah, K6MYC, KD6BQ. Yeah, it's a bad time of year to be having problems, at least outdoors, because even though it's relatively warm now at 47, it was 18 this morning, so pretty chilly. Yeah, I should hopefully see you tomorrow on 6. That's looking good. And Daniel, it's possible, you know, because it was pretty cold this morning, that he could have ice and stuff on his roof. Didn't want to take a chance going up there or something. So anyway, we'll say 73 for now, and we'll look for you tomorrow night on 6, K6MYC, KD6BQ, number 249 in Nevada, over.
Okay, very good. And I'm going to go QRT here, not QRT, and QRT in your direction, and go back to the Bay Area because we were missing about 6 check-ins in the Bay Area. We'll give them one more chance to make it right. They've been wiped out by coarse gold again tonight. The metropolis of coarse gold checked in more people in the Bay Area, so we must be embarrassed for the Bay Area. I think they're in a wake mode. Wake meaning a funeral. I don't know why. I guess I could make a guess. That's all I'm going to say, Richard. Over. All right.
Roger there. And interesting that there's more people in coarse gold than in the Bay Area checking in.
Yeah, well, we get that quite frequently, but we got everybody in here tonight. There wasn't a single person in coarse gold that didn't show up, except for we have a doctor, my doctor, Dr. Schaffner. We call him Dr. Dan, KJ6OJD, old Jewish doctor, and he hasn't checked in for about a year. He's so busy. I don't even know if he's functional up there anymore, ham radio-wise. I got an appointment with him, I think, in December. I'm going to have to poke him with a pointy stick, get him on the air once in a while here, just to say hi. I think he's afraid to check in. He gets more business every time he checks in. He's the only doctor around in that area up in North. He's in Oakhurst, and he's so popular he's just buried. Good doctors are hard to find with common sense, you know. Anyway, 73 Richard, K6MYC, clear with KD6PQ, and I'm heading to the Bay Area, Rob. Did.
Okay, Mike, you mentioned everybody in Corksville checked in. Did you get Dave, K6EBG?
No, I guess we forgot Dave. I forgot that. That's right. We didn't get them all.
Okay, just wondering if I missed one.
No, I blew it. Okay, Bay Area, late checks and missed, 2-meter Bozo Net, late checks and missed, K6MYC, looking for W6PQL, WB6JNN, KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, KG6 KF6QCH, K6VVP, KT2G, geez, who am I leaving out? K6MYC, Bozo Net, late checks and missed, into the Bay Area.
775 KB6 WSC.
Well, thank you, Mike. You made it. You made it this evening. Thanks very much. 775. Good signal. I've got a little noise in your direction. I think we can copy okay. You're pretty good. Take a transmission and tell me what the weather's like over that way. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6MYC. Go ahead, Mike.
K6MYC, KB6WSC. Well, it's 54 degrees right now, but there was rain, or would we just call it fog? It was getting pretty wet earlier this evening, but it's kind of dried up now.
Well, that's good. At least you're getting some wetness. I guess we're going to all get some serious rain next week, all the way through Saturday. I guess our rain is going to be 3 or 4 days worth if it happens. Okay, Saturday next week through Tuesday. Boy, rushing right up against Thanksgiving. Hopefully that won't have any effect on the folks that are coming down. Anyway, we could sure use the rain, and I guess we shouldn't complain about when it comes. We haven't had any yet since May. KB6WFC for your final, Mike. K6MYC, over.
K6MYC, KB6WFC returning. Yeah, so I think the rain will be good for those that want to do skiing over the Thanksgiving holiday. So, yeah, that's almost a week worth of rain, so I guess it's that season finally. Anyway, 73, good evening. Thank you for being there. Talk to you later. K6MYC, KB6WFC.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. Thank you very much for checking in here and putting your area on the map here, so to speak. Let's hope for some real nice rain that we all need. You guys have had some, but all in all, I think we're all short out here on the west coast of the major amounts of rainfall. KB6 Whiskey Foxtrot Charlie, K6MYC, looking for late checks and missed in the Bay Area, please, over. I guess that's all we're going to get. Rob, you want to go down and see if we can get Eddie?
Okay, heading that way.
Yeah, well, I don't know about LA. They're probably done by now.
I say heading that way.
Oh, heading that way. Thank you.
KE6BK, Eddie, you on tonight for the 2-meter Bozo Net? KE6BK, this is KM6SRR with K6MYC, standing by.
How about LA? How about KB6RQU? How about N6SWR? KE6BK? Or Los Angeles, W6 Papa Mike Delta? Anybody? Holy cow. Let's get a count from Judy and see what we got. It's pretty meager tonight, I'll tell you.
Okay, you can help me one thing here. I was downstairs when Dennis started reading off numbers. I couldn't get my antenna pointed at him to hear what he said. I've got the last couple, but could you read me the beginning ones? Over.
We can read them to you. I can almost do them by memory. Hang on just a second, Judy. I'll hand you the mic here. Let's see. Okay, he started with 160. You got Dennis's number 86, and then 160, and then some. Go ahead. 336, 783, or 782, or something.
Are you going to read it, or am I?
Well, I'm waiting for you.
884 1013.
Wait a minute. You're reading the wrong numbers. Hang on. Go ahead.
86, 160, 336, 782, 849, 132, 233, check.
Okay, I've got them all there. Thank you.
There's one more after that. 100. What is it? 1001 or 1009?
1001.
1001 after that.
Yeah, I heard those. I was able to get up here by then and move my antenna to listen. Over.
Okay, very good. I think Judy counted a total of 31 on here tonight. Wasn't that what it was? 34, okay.
Well, how about that? I've got exactly 34.
Well, son of a gun, we're getting pretty good. Yeah, you guys, you and Judy are a team, man.
Well, as long as she gave me what Dennis gave you for numbers.
Okay. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. We're done for the night. Cold. Go in and have a snacky poo before we get off to bed and get under the covers and get warm. Whoo.
Yeah, too much information there, Mike. Over.
I don't think so. Oh, Judy thinks so.
Okay. All right. Good to hear you guys. And good evening, Judy and Mike, K6MYC. And I think Aaron's probably still hanging in there. Old 1079, K6USY. KM6SR going that way.
Yeah, Aaron, you're done putting the kids to bed?
Nope, I'm here. Have Matt reset your internet when you get back into the house. It was mostly working tonight, but a couple times it just dropped out on us. So I have a feeling your router might need to be reset.
Yeah, I wonder why it goes flaky. You would think it would either quit altogether or not. Why does it get flakier? And you tell me about this digital crap, okay?
Well, the problem is the issue could be in like 3 different places. It could be your router needs to be rebooted. It could be your dish is slightly misaligned, and so we're getting packet loss on the microwave path, or just unwired broadband's having a bad night. But it was kind of doing this on Thursday as well, so who knows what's going on.
Okay, well, we'll reboot it, and then you can tell me tomorrow night if it fixed it, okay?
Yep, exactly. Yeah, just we'll start with the easy stuff, and then we'll work our way down. But yeah, we'll see if that works out. So, okay. Well, I'm gonna go get to bed because I got to drive down to Bakersfield tomorrow, and I'm doing that all week. So it's gonna be a long week of driving. We'll catch you later. K6MYC, K6USY, DMO6.
Okay. Well, while you're down there, poke N6SWR with a pointy stick and tell him to get his head out of it. Okay.
Very good.
Got disappointed with us one night because we didn't hear him through all the LA chatter, and he gets upset about stupid things like that.
Yeah, and it's just it's hard when you got traffic going in multiple directions. It's just the way it is.
Well, he's I don't know. gets upset with that a little bit. He shouldn't, but he does. Maybe it's just an excuse not to go in there and get on the radio. Anyway, 7-3, good evening to you and Brittany, and Jody and I will go in the house, feed the kitties before we go in, and go have a Haagen-Dazs and maybe catch a blog or something, and then call it a night. Good night, all, and we'll see you on a bright Sunday morning, Monday, or tomorrow night, one way or the other, such as it is. And we expect to hear you on 222, Rob.
Roger, and what did you say you're going to have, you turkey?
What did I didn't have? Haagen-Dazs.
Yeah, okay. Hey, I'll be right over, huh?
Okay. I think we only got 2 left, though. I guess I'll have to give you mine.
Make him eat his by the pool.
I'm just teasing. We always have one more Haagen-Dazs in there. Somewhere. We'll find it, even if we have to go to the bottom of the freezer.
I couldn't take your last one, Mike, anyways. Just yanking your chain again. That's twice tonight, KM6SR.
There you go. You're just getting even, aren't you, for me giving you all that firewood?
Well, yeah, it warmed me up. I could probably use more, but I know you need it too. So it's kind of wet out there, so I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the season. Over.
No, I still got dry. I covered that what was left. I cut up all the rest of the stuff that was in that pile that you were drawing from. I cut up all of that, and I'm burning the last of it right now. I burned it because it was super dry and nice, and I put it in various wheelbarrows and buckets and trailers, and I just unloaded the last few pieces, or will be by tomorrow. So, but I've got that whole pile next to it, right next to the greenhouse that has still covered, and it's all fresh. And most of it, there's about a third of that that's cut in small pieces. The rest of it's, 3 and 4 feet long chunks. So you're welcome to all of that. Over.
Okay, well, I may take you up on it. I made me a little rack that I can cut the wood up out of some 2x6s, and it kind of hinges and makes a little X so you can hold the log where you're cutting it. So I'm all ready now. Over.
Oh, okay. Well, bring that, and we'll compare it with mine. I got mine, and I was using mine out there. Mine's getting pretty beat up. I've been using it for a couple of years. It's got 1,000 saw cuts in it, but so far it's holding up.
Yep, that's why I picked 2x6s. I figure I got a little extra meat in case I do a bunch of saw cuts. Over.
Yeah, there you go. All right, no, it's here for the grabs, and again, Rob, I haven't had any rain, so that other pile over by the horse ties, by where the trailers are there, that's I haven't covered it, but that's all dry too. So I got no end of wood. You don't have to worry about coming and getting it. It's all yours.
Okay, I may take you up on it here. I'll survey what I got around here and see. Over.
Alrighty, very good. I haven't even tapped into the woodshed. I actually put a few more pieces in the woodshed from when you were here. I took the last of those that I couldn't get into trailers and wheelbarrows and other things, and I put them in the shed. And the shed is just packed to the gunnels.
Yep, that's a good problem to have there. Over.
Yes, it is. All right, good night, all. Whoever else is listening here, 7-3 all, we'll see you tomorrow night on one band or another. K6MYC, Bozo 47 in Delta Mike 07 will be clear and closing for the...
All righty, good night, Mike, and good night to everybody on YouTube. K6USY DMO6.